Okay, let's start. Yeah, first of all, thanks for coming. I'm really excited to show you some work my team and I have been doing over the last few months. But first of all, a little bit of myself. So I'm Grégory Schiano. I'm software architect at Canonical, started more or less a year ago. Previously, I was CTO in a language learning company doing online courses. I have two kids, a son, 8 years old, a daughter, 14-year-old teenager. And a big fan of One Piece, which is a manga anime, started 25 years ago. If you don't know, there's been a Netflix series out in September. It's all about pirates and freedom. It's really great. So what I will be talking about today is what we're doing right now is mixing the world of Juju, 12-factor principles, and Rockcraft. But for those who don't know what these three concepts are, I will explain it a little bit. So what is 12-factor app? It's a set of principles, 12 principles, to build scalable, maintainable, portable web applications, and that really uses version control, declarative formats, really clean contracts with the system, and gives you also rules for operations and how you manage the processes and the administrative tasks. These rules were defined by, I don't remember his name, but he's one of the co-founders of Heroku, and they built Heroku based on these 12 principles. But now a lot of platform as a service are applying them. So the 12 factors are these. They are more detailed. There is a website. You can read it. It's really great. So code-based, dependencies, config, backing services, build, release, run, processes, for binding, concurrency, disposability, dev prod party, and then more operational tasks, the logs, and the admin processes. So what we've been trying to do is take all these 12 principles, take Juju, take Rockcraft, mix them together to really ease the developer journey through Juju. If you're a developer who don't want to learn all the details about how to write the Juju charm, etc., we will help you. Talking about Juju and Charmcraft, Juju is an open source orchestration engine for software operators, so SREs, DevOps, whatever you call them, that enables the deployment, the integration, the lifecycle management of your application at any scale, on any infrastructure, and any substrate, so case or machine. And a charm is some software code, business logic, in Python, that automates all the lifecycle and every aspect of the management of your application. So I usually take the example of databases because it well explains the concept. If you are an SRE or a sysadmin and you want, or a developer, you want a database, but then you want to scale it, put it in cluster, managing correctly, having the backups, the logs, the monitoring. Juju Charm will manage that for you. There is an incident, one node goes down, Juju will knows how to recover from that. You want to scale down, scale up, Juju, and the charm knows how to do that for you. So it's really about operating your application at scale on cloud. Rockcraft. So Rockcraft is a quite new tool made by Canonical that allows you to create a new generation of OCI images. It's a declarative syntax, which is not the case for Dockerfile, and that allows you to build images based on Ubuntu, but not necessarily based on Ubuntu. You can choose also the base you want. So all the work we've done allows for a Flask developer who has an application, wants to operate it following the best practices, and manage it properly, monitor it properly, but without the burden of learning how to write a Juju charm, learn the ops framework for Juju, etc. The whole idea of the talk is I will make you a demo. It's probably best to show you. It's a live demo, so I hope it will go fine. So I have base VM, installed microcates on it, installed Charmcraft and Rockcraft. Specific version that we built. This is still experimental, not available mainstream yet. We'll work over the next month to refine it. I've also installed Juju and installed the Juju controller. So Juju controller is kind of the brain of Juju, helping you managing your workloads and your model, which are namespaces. So yeah, so the first thing to do, I need to put an external flag because it's an experimental feature right now. But once this is going into the mainstream, we'll be able to remove that flag. So then the first step that Rockcraft will do is take that extension, expand the YML, add all the parts that are required, and then build your OCA image. It takes a little bit of time. If you never tried Rockcraft, have a look. It's really great. It's a different experience than Dockerfile. I know that you may be used to Dockerfile and the way it builds, and it's pretty handy. But it really brings declarative syntax into OCA images. So once my OCA image is available, I will have to push that to a registry. So on my local microcates, I enabled the registry. So I have a local registry. It's a plugin which is enabled with a command line, and then I can push it so that Kubernetes can access it. The Rockcraft builds OCA images, not Docker images, so you may need some tools to transform it, but it comes with a tool named Scopio that allows you to manipulate a bit the images. And I will use also Scopio to push that image to the registry because I don't have Docker locally installed.
Do you know when you expect the experimental extension to land?
I think with version 1 of Rockcraft. So we're reaching the end. So now I have a Rock file within my folder here that I can push. So for that, I will use Scopio. So the command line is a bit long, but basically since I'm on a local registry, I need to set some flags. And then I define which file I want to push to which repository. Okay, done. Next step, we need to build a charm. So to build a charm, I create a charm folder, get into it. And similarly to Rockcraft, I have a profile, Flask framework available that will initialize all the code required to operate my application. So I can run Charmcraft. Sorry. I can run Charmcraft init, specify the Flask framework profile and a name. And similarly, I will get within my Charm folder a list of files, some source code, and a Charmcraft YML. So if we have a look at Charmcraft YML, looks pretty similar to Rockcraft. You will have bases, a summary, some descriptions, and also an extension that does also all the magic of expanding, defining what we put into your charm. You can also customize some aspects. Juju provides a very, very powerful relation integration system that allows you to link your application and other applications together, and they will be able to communicate and exchange information. So we support by default here MySQL and Postgres for databases, Ingress to expose your application, and also monitoring. So built in your charm, you will have monitoring that allows you to get metrics, logs, and dashboards just by deploying your application and relating it to the observability stack of Canonical. I have nothing specific, so I can just build my application, my charm. So same experience, Charmcraft pack, and then Charmcraft will do the work to build a charm and make it available in your local directory. We have a store, a hub, charm hub, where we push and centralize a lot of charms that we build and that the community is building. But you can also deploy just a local file if you don't want to have it publicly available on Charm Hub. So I will not push it on Charm Hub, but I can use MySQL, Traffic, Istio, so many other applications. So the next step, once the charm is available, is to prepare with Juju a model. So as I mentioned earlier, a model is a namespace where you can load your application and relate them all together, similarly to a Kubernetes namespace also, but that allows also Juju to manage your application and the endpoints and the relations together. I will then take that application, exposes it using the ingress. So the ingress, I'm using Nginx ingress controller, which comes as a plugin into Microcates. I enabled that plugin, so it's already available in my Microcates cluster. So I will need to relate them together. So my charm is available. Next step is I need to create a model. So I can type Juju add model, deculite, and Juju will provision a model for me. And I can look at that model using Juju status. So Juju status allows you to see your application and all the units of your application, because you can scale it, and all the links that they are together. Then I need to deploy my application. So to deploy it, I need to specify which charm I want. Local charm, you can specify a name which is on Charm Hub. Then I need to pass it the link to my OCI images. When you pull from Charm Hub provides the OCI image. You don't have to specify them. But when you run a local charm, you need to tell to Juju, here are my OCI images. So I specify 2 OCI images, one that I just built, and another one, which is a Prometheus exporter for StatD that allows me to collect metrics from your application and push them to our observability stack. So once deployed, Juju will start its magic, deploy your application, run some commands to prepare and start your workload and to make it available for you. So depending on the charm, some are more complex, could take longer to run, and I have an error. So what do I have? Yeah, forgot. I need to fetch the charm libraries. So all these relation and integrations requires some libraries. This is a part on which we will work over the coming months. We want to improve this part of the developer experience. And yeah, that will come in the coming weeks, months. So Charmcraft provides a command called fetchlib. I will have to rebuild. And I need to fetch a set of libraries that allows the application to work. So Prometheus for monitoring, Loki for log centralization. I also need Grafana, database, and ingress. Ingress. Almost there, ingress. So since I forgot to fetch them, I need to repack my charm. Yeah, due to that, I will shorten a bit the demonstration. I wanted to show you also next the day two operations, like you modify your application. What do? You want to add some extra configuration. How do you do that? So if you change your application, you just have to repack your OCI image using Rockcraft, and then run attach resources, which is a Juju command, and that will give it the new image, and Juju will restart your charm with that new OCI image, and that's done. And if you want to add, for example, extra configuration, your application needs some configuration parameters. Well, you can, sorry, I will remove the application just to make sure it's okay. If you want extra configuration, you can define configuration inside charmcraft.yml. And this configuration will be injected automatically as environment variable into your workloads and be available. We prefix them with Flask underscore. So we expect you to use the helpers provided by Flask to load environment variables into configuration. So removed my application. Need to wait a little bit for it to get out. Also, we provide you a set of pre-configuration that helps you configure, for example, Gunicorn, the number of workers, some timeout configuration. We allow you to set the secret key of Flask, but the secret key of Flask, if you don't specify it, it's automatically generated, injected to all the units of your application, so they share that secret. Yeah, probably, or I can force. Yeah. 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 I will. Yeah, remove force. Okay. That will come. Just wait a little bit. So also we provide some actions. So Juju has a nice experience with actions that allows you to instruct your charm to execute some actions either on the workload or on some lifecycle aspect, like some backups actions or some restore actions. We provide an action that allows you to rotate the secret key if you want it to be changed, but keep it auto-generated. Doesn't want to remove. So what I can do is okay. So now it will work. I have the libraries. I repacked my charm. The Juju will start my application, start Gunicorn, pass it the configuration, and it will become available. So the application won't be publicly exposed, so I need an ingress now. And as I mentioned, I deploy Nginx. But to tell Juju how to talk to this Nginx controller, we use what we call an ingress integrator. The role of this integrator is to create an ingress case resource that talks to Nginx. I need to specify which host name I want, which path I want, so I specify localhost and /. And as you see, I don't specify local.charm file. I just specify Nginx ingress integrator, so it will fetch it from a Charm Hub. So it's starting, and now I need to link them together to tell, okay, please expose my deculate application through Nginx. and I can add -- relations to see the created relations. So we currently have an ingress relation with our declared application. And now, if I take my browser and I go to localhost 8080, and I know, yeah, I know why. Give me a minute. I forgot to forward ports. Better. Okay. And now I have my declared application. Okay, I have a little bit of time for questions. So if you have questions. Any questions? No? I can quickly show the monitoring then, if you have no questions. So once more, I pre-deployed a canonical OpenStack observability stack locally and exposed the endpoints. I just need to relate them together. So I tell my application that I want you to talk to Loki. I want you to talk to Grafana, and I want you to talk to Prometheus. You will see in the relations that they are there. I will simulate some traffic. Yeah, it's just one. Okay, and now I can go here. I port forwarded. It's I don't remember the port. It's 2717. I'm logged out. If I So that's a run action on Grafana to get the password. I get my password. I can go to my dashboard here, and you will see I have a Flask operator dashboard with some metric flow. Yeah. Some metrics should start to flow here, and some logs. Yeah, you start to get reports of data. For example, we have the duration. So what we expose are 200 rates, some request count, etc. Okay. Hope you enjoyed, and can't wait to show you next Ubuntu Summit some more. We are working on some next steps, as I mentioned, better experience for the libraries. I forgot them, so good point. And also, we are working to extend to new other frameworks, Fast API, Django. If you're interested, want to contribute, have your framework you like and want to have it into it, come talk to us. We will be really happy to have you participate to that journey. Thank you very much.